27th, 2015. I'd like to have the flag salute on its
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
roll call, please.
Mr. Amendola?
Yes.
Ms. Amendola?
Here.
Mr. Crown?
here.
Mr. O'Brien is absent. Mr. Phillips?
Here.
Wenzel is absent. Mr. Hayes is absent. Mayor Bloom is absent. Solicitor Adolphus?
Here.
Engineer Minsterman?
Here.
Manager Scott?
Here.
That's it. I'll entertain a motion then to approve the bill list dated July 27th.
So moved. Second.
Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes from the July 13th meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
All approved, or all opposed? As we have citizens' comments at this time, and those are for agenda items. I do have the list of citizens' comments, however, they are for things not on the agenda, so we will wait until the end of the meeting to talk about, to have you come up and speak regarding those issues. So then we can move on to the acknowledgement of written reports. I'll acknowledge the treasurer's report, the financial report, the Act 511 and trash collection reports, the property tax collection report, the police report, the EMS report, the building inspection report, and the public works report. Any discussion? As you can see, Mayor Bloom is not with us, so we will wait for his report until our next regularly scheduled meeting. And on to the engineer's report.
Thank you, Madam President. A couple items just to hit some of the projects that we're working on now. One is the swimming pool renovations, the splash pool. The advertisement is out for contractors to bid on the construction. The bid opening is August 19th. The project's on schedule. Everything is as planned. So things are going well there. We hope to get some good bids from contractors and get that project started. The 2015 road program, it has started on North Emily. The contractor is starting by installing the ADA, the handicap ramps on the sidewalk. We're waiting to hear from them as far as what their paving schedule will be. Noble Avenue, you can see that's been roughed up by the water company. The plans are to pave that. We still are waiting to hear from the water company on the paving schedule from them, but we think it's coming soon, so that will be nice. O&M plan, which is operation and maintenance plan of the sewer system. That is routine and continuous evaluation of the system through televising and then designing repairs to fix structural defects in the sanitary sewer system. And finally was a meeting with Alcosan. There is a proposal to take over some of the Crafton sewer lines, the larger diameter multi-municipal sewer lines, and that means the sewer lines from Crafton that end up going into the city. There's a proposal from Alcosan to take over those lines, which could be a benefit to Crafton, as it will remove the costs associated with upkeeping and maintaining those lines while still not losing revenue for the customers that are on the service. So we're continuing with the manager to evaluate that possibility and look at what the ramifications are of transferring those sewer lines to Alcosan. That is all I have.
Can you touch on Clearview?
Clearview is underway. It's probably looking to be paved, or even the majority of the work will be finished in a couple of weeks. There's been really no issues. We've talked with the resident about the trees along Clearview. A botanist had reviewed the work around those trees and said that the contractor did an excellent job in protecting the trees, and that, so that was a good bill of health. So that work now can be finished, the curbs can be installed, and the paving can be done. We think 2 to 3 weeks they'll be substantially complete.
Thank you.
Well,
We can now move on to the solicitor's report.
nothing to comment.
Okay. We'll move on then to the administration manager report.
The borough received our next consent order, which is an 18-month consent order. They are requesting it to be signed by September 30th, 2015. The consent order is for the sanitary and combined source system that we own and maintain and operate. It's through the Allegheny County Health Department and the EPA. We have until, like I said, September 30th. I went to a Three Rivers Wet Weather meeting on Thursday. They're going to be having the legal departments, the legal personnel to review for the language. And then they also have selected a subcommittee of managers to review as well. I was selected to be on that committee, so we will be reviewing and making a recommendation. So probably not before sometime in one of our September meetings, we'll be either authorizing to sign it, revisions, but any changes that we want to see in the agreement. Everybody has received a copy of it. Has to be done through Three Rivers Wet Weather and submitted as a group. So that's all Allegheny County, or serviced by Alcosan. The next item is that last month we discussed Steuben Street and the condition, and asked that I prepare a letter and submit it to PennDOT, which I've completed. I've copied Senator Fontana and State Representative Dan Deasy, and we'll see what happens. I haven't received any response. It was only mailed out about a week ago. So we'll see what happens if they send a response. We requested a meeting, even if we could meet on site. I copied the engineer.
If we could just remind everyone what we wanted to talk about, just this condition of the street itself, the timing of the lights.
The timing of the lights at the Thornburg Bridge all throughout, the catch basins along Steuben Street. Actually, I met with Alcosan, and they would like to do possibly a green infrastructure project somewhere along there at their expense. It would be, to catch some of the stormwater. So, there's going to be a lot of people that would be involved, but that's one of the other issues we'd like to talk about. But since it's a state roadway, we don't have the authorization to move forward. And actually, Alcosan is actually doing various green infrastructure projects through some of the other communities as required and necessitate through their consent order, but they've never worked on a PennDOT project, so PennDOT road, so this would be their first, so we would be breaking the barriers down on that. So there's going to have to be a lot of cooperation to get that done, but those are just some of the issues that we submitted to PennDOT. That's all I have.
Moving on then to public safety, we did want to notify everyone that police applications are now being accepted and are available in the Borough Manager's office or on our website. Completed applications are due August 31st, 2015, and then the physical agility and written exam will be held September 9th at the Allegheny Police Training Academy in North Park. Does anyone else have anything for public safety? Moving on then to planning and comprehensive plan. We also have an announcement regarding any member of our community, including residents, business owners, church representatives, recreation advocates, volunteer organizations, or others interested in strategic planning for the borough. The member will be expected to attend all the steering committee meetings and provide insight about future implementation of proposed recommendations. So anyone interested in participating, we're not calling this a a committee?
It'll be a subcommittee of the comprehensive plan. It's a steering committee.
Okay,
And right now, we have about 4 people. The organization that's going to be completing the comprehensive plan, they requested maybe 6 to 8 people
Okay.
maximum. And it's also a joint plan, so Ingram also will be, putting people on the same
so
committee
there are
as well.
potentially 6 to 8 spots available or
Crafton.
total?
Crafton.
Okay.
Crafton.
Okay,
And but if you only get 4, then that's all you get. But
Right.
they're recommending at least, they'd like to see 6 to maybe 8.
okay, so anyone interested in potentially being part of this steering committee should submit a letter of interest to the borough manager's office by August 1st. Anybody have anything that they would like to discuss regarding planning and comprehensive plan? Okay, then we can go into our citizens' comments. And I see that we have 1, 2, 3 to discuss the trash at Lobos. Would everyone like an opportunity to speak, or did you have one person that was gonna speak on your behalf? All of us.
Always like to speak.
Okay, and then I'll ask the same of the next group regarding the road conditions. So if you would mind coming up to the microphone and keeping your comments to under 3 minutes, and your name and your address.
My name is Dennis Hank, I'm 16 14 Ingram Avenue. I'm sitting with dumpsters down here in Lobos, down on Storage Street, that are overflowing. We're having rat farms down here. We've had the news out several times about this problem. We've also had Dave Morgan in with us, helping us out, trying to get this problem fixed. We've contacted Board of Health as well to come down here and look at this problem. Nothing seems to be motivating this Lobos to sit there and get this problem cleaned up. I'm dealing with rats in my backyard. I cannot sit in my backyard. I have a dead rat back there tonight, which cameraman and the news anchor sat there and seen as well. And this has been out of hand for the last 4 years. And I've asked to sit there and get this problem fixed. And it doesn't seem like it's going anywhere, and I'd really like to have this fixed now. I moved to this borough because I thought it was a good place to come to, good school district, the parks, everything's nice and close for me, to get back and forth to work as well as my wife.
Where did you say this is happening?
It's an apartment.
So where?
270 West, last apartment building on the right.
It's actually the townhouses and the 2 apartment buildings. There's a
Oh,
hot
okay,
stuff right in the
okay.
middle.
There's like a permanent sign that says apartments with their number, but it's always there that there's an apartment
Correct,
available?
yeah,
Okay,
last 4 digits is 1400.
okay, I gotcha.
And they said that it's, all the trash goes to one dumpster out of all those units.
So the dumpster's behind the building, which is on Ingram Avenue, is that what?
Well, it's in the back alley behind the
Okay.
building.
Access is off.
I gotcha, okay. Okay, thank you.
Okay. My name is Sarah Ferrero. I live at 454 Maxwell Street, but actually where I am, I'm on Ingram Avenue, right across from the Hyder Shop.
Okay.
So this is also affecting me. I think it was about a week and a half ago, I was cutting my grass in the backyard and actually ran over a rat with a lawnmower. And my backyard is fenced in, so this was the first rodent issue I've noticed with it. I didn't have my phone on me, so I couldn't get a picture of it right away, and kind of ran off back under the fence. So seeing the rat tonight with the news there, the news anchor actually caught it and was the one to find it, and it's gross. You know, I have people over in my backyard, I have a grill that's fenced in, it's nice. I have my nephew over, and now I'm afraid to even go in my backyard to even cut my grass again. It's disgusting. And the most frustrating,
Not picking up the garbage?
well, that's the thing, the most frustrating thing about it is the day that I actually hit the rat, I finished my yard, and I went back to look at the dumpster. The dumpster was completely empty, and there was one bag of garbage down on the ground chewed by rats. And it's like, the people that live there, I don't know if they're more to blame or what, but it's like they're too lazy to open up the lid to the
Get it in the
dumpster, and you go back there, and it's all over the ground. And they'll come and they'll clean it up and pick it up once and get it cleaned up, but the residents seem to keep doing the same thing.
Okay, so the garbage potentially is being picked up by the garbage company. It's just that it's out around the dumpster and
Yeah, and they
everywhere
can
else.
put it out and all days of the week.
Any day of the
So
week,
it's
okay.
not really solving the problem.
Okay. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Shirley Hank, and I'm Dennis's wife. Again, with the dumpsters, we can't have our grandchildren in the backyard to play. We can't even have family over for a cookout for fear of the rats coming into the yard. I don't know if you want to see the pictures, but I have them. There's flies all over the place. They're actually starting to get into my house. My house is actually smelling from the garbage. It's a shame when, you know, you gotta tell your grandchildren, you're not allowed outside to play. It's a beautiful day. You can't go outside for being fear, you know, for fear of being bit by a rat. So at the beginning of the month, I called Channel 11 News. They came out, they did a piece. Earlier this morning, Channel 11 called me again to do a follow-up. As they were doing the follow-up, the gentleman found a dead rat. So, I mean, I don't know what the solution is, but like Sarah was saying, they don't even lift the lids up to put the garbage in the dumpster. The dumpsters are empty and the garbage is all over the place. You know, I've called Lobos, I keep getting hung up on until I block my number and call again, and then they'll answer. I called the health department. I don't know what else to do. I don't know where to turn to anymore. We have a beautiful garden last year, a beautiful garden. My husband found rats, huge rats in my garden, where we had to rip everything out. There went my candy for the winter. I've lost all of that food. My garden right now isn't looking very well. So that might have to be ripped out. So again, this year, I'm losing money on all of my canning. Nothing is being done.
Do you know how many dumpsters are back there?
Yes, there is one dumpster, and there is,
One dumpster for trash.
One
and
dumpster.
for recycling.
right, for the recycling.
How many apartments? It's all the apartments.
It's all the,
Yeah, how many
there's gotta
apartments
be
are
at
there?
least, what, 12 in one, and, yeah,
Probably third, is it? So, yeah.
Yeah.
It's also the other apartments, the townhouse apartments.
right.
I think it's 266, 268.
Yeah, if you sit there, you're down, you sit there, the phone number's 14, it's the last four digits for the lining. And it's the townhouse that's right next to the apartment buildings. Then there's a house that sits in the middle, and then next set of apartment buildings. There's gonna be at least 35, 40 units over there.
Yeah.
The access to the road where the dumpster is actually on Ingram Avenue. It's that alley
Yeah.
back there.
I do know Mr. Morgan has cited them numerous
Yes.
times.
Cited Lobos or the
Lobos
resident?
management, that you can't cite the resident, you have to cite Lobos. Lobos, most of the time, every time that there's a fine in our magistrate's office here, he appeals downtown to Common Police Court. And a lot of times that's, he's successful in Common Police Court. I do know that he was fined about $2,000 on this last citation. He has appealed to Common Police Court, so there will be a hearing in Common Police Court for that also. And that was the first big fine that he was issued. But this goes back 4 or 5 years. But every time we cite him, it goes to local magistrate. You know, every time the fines that he feels is in excess, he appeals to common police court, and it's usually lower or twice
So
off.
he's losing in our magistrate and.
Right.
Sometimes, it's,
Now, our magistrate had told him to put up a fence. Well, the slats in the fence are this wide apart. You can get through there. I found syringes about 3 weeks ago. I called the police to have them come down to pick up the syringes. I found 2 little girls playing in those dumpsters. This was before I had found the syringes. There's glass shattered all over the place. I don't even know these girls, but I had told them, you know, can't play back here. Yeah, it's health. It's a health
We gotta get this
risk.
addressed.
yeah, the tough, our hands are a little bit tied for the court system.
Well, what could we do with the Court of Common Pleas? Is there any way, is there any way we could go down to the Court of, what is it, Court of Common
They're
Pleas?
appealing?
That's not it.
I don't think there's a private cause of action for somebody unless they're trespassing on your property.
Well,
It's a
no,
health
there,
issue for the
you,
borough.
there's rats and needles trespassing on my property.
I understand, but
You
that's not,
know?
yeah.
All right, your 3 minutes are probably up. Let us discuss this for a second.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. I
Mr.
appreciate
Solicitor, what do
it.
you think? What do we do here? We gotta get this addressed. This is,
I think
how often can they be cited?
every time there's a violation.
Which
There's
is
a violation. cited
every
for
other
violation.
day?
You need to have, I think there needs to be more effective. The magistrate needs to continue to cite them and uphold the citations, and if they go downtown, we need to pursue them. Just keep showing up.
Oh,
Keep causing him problems.
couldn't the residents show up as witnesses?
Sure.
An appeal downtown?
Not necessarily, their appeal wouldn't do anything, they could show up as witnesses, but the moving party is the borough.
Yes.
The borough has the citation, the borough's issued the citation
Yeah.
on behalf of the residents.
They can't be brought in
Residents
as
are just
witnesses.
witnesses. Yeah, witnesses, sure.
So when Dave Morgan goes downtown with this appeal, he can bring in all these people
Yes,
and they can tell the judge downtown what's happening down there and how this keeps on happening.
sure, yes. And then,
Okay.
I mean, if this becomes enough of a nuisance or a burden to Lobos, he may stop appealing. If everything has to come down, he's losing a day listening to testimony from everybody that comes down. It may be costing him more. You know, if I appeal and it takes me a day to go down and sit there and I have to waste my whole day, every day or every time it happens, it may become not cost effective to continue having to defend against those appeals.
But the Channel 11 has done an expose on it, they're one of the worst. You know.
I mean, that's not a secret, they're
Really?
all over the
Been
city,
in the
pretty,
news, right?
I mean, all over Oakland.
Just keep getting the fine, keep running the fines. We have to make them
Keep
stick.
citing.
Yeah, that's one of the issues, you gotta make them stick. If they're winning downtown, why, does anyone know why they're winning, how they're winning, or having the appeals
I think
less
that
than-
when they get to magistrate's court, there's a lot of continuances. I'll give you 30 days to comply, I'll give you 60 days to comply. And then within those, the 59th day, they comply.
Fix it.
And we're attending all of those appeals,
Yes, yes.
so.
So that's,
Somebody needs to twist the magistrate's arm then,
right.
and have him stop issuing those continuances. If it's 30 days and, or not even 30 days, just hold the hearing.
Right.
And then find them guilty, issue the fine.
We don't have.
How do you twist it?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Okay, then.
We're gonna keep an eye on this.
Come on down.
Yeah, I'll be down with it. All right, sorry. Go ahead.
Moving on then to the road conditions, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Does everyone want to speak individually?
I would like to, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, me too.
My name is Megan Logman. I live at 238 Ewing Road. Been there for 5 years. Every spring, every summer, I call and I complain, and I call the police, I call CIT, I call Canada, I call Crafton Borough. People are flying down my road. I had one son, who's now 4, and now I have another daughter. The kids are taught not to go within a foot, 2 feet of the road. But all it takes is for a ball to go across the road, and there goes my son, and there's these baseball people who think that their kid getting to the baseball game is more important. Last year, they hit my truck. I had to follow the lady down the field because she didn't stop. Luckily, it's a dummy mirror and it didn't break, it just whipped back. But I had to follow her down the field, get her information in case my mirror did break. They ran over my cat's tail. Can't prove who did it because they just left my cat, luckily right in front of my house, so he came back. So thanks for that vet bill I incurred. Every year, I have to put on new shocks because the potholes are like man size. I can lay down and you might not see me.
Yep.
So let's see, it's awful. You can't plow the roads because you have so many potholes. You can't, well, you salt the roads, but then it just turns into a giant ice slip. Let's see, where else can I go with you and road? Oh, now instead of the quick patch, they're just putting mud in the potholes. Like that's gonna do anything. It rains, it's gone. There's the pothole again. You know, you're not fixing it. I called the cops. They come down, they sit on Promenade, and they watch the fountain. I call them again. It's not fountain, it's Ewing. Do they come down? Oh, yeah, they whiz right past, go down, ball field, whip back, and fly on down the road again. They don't care. They're just as bad as the people at the baseball fields. Called Sheriff Sumter about it, and he said, oh, I've talked to him, you know, we have people sitting down, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, you sit and you watch fountain. You're not watching Ewing. I'm saying Ewing. Then, so you close the end of the ball field, or the end of the Ewing Road to go out. Fine. You said 2 years you're gonna look into fixing it. 2 years come past, it's still closed. I'm the last house, so if my son falls and gets hit by one of these whack jobs, I'm now the last house for like an ambulance to come down, squeeze past all those cars and the giant road potholes to get to my son to try and rescue him. Am I supposed to trust that an additional 5 minutes coming the long way to my house is gonna, what happens to my son? What happens to my daughter? It's just, I mean, it's been 4 years of this nonstop. Every year I call. No one cares. That's it. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Brittany Meredith, and I'm a resident of Ewing Road at 222. I'm here tonight to speak of the issues that we are currently facing on Ewing Road. With the baseball fields being our road, we have more than usual traffic, poor road conditions, and speeding. And with the reorganization of CIT, there's been an increase in the number of vehicles we see on a daily basis during the spring and summer months. And let me add, I'm very happy and thankful that CIT has reorganized and they're getting back on their feet, and I am not here as a personal attack against CIT. My children have played for CIT, but our major safety concerns are on our road. Our concerns have grown even more with the consideration of Fountain Street possibly becoming one-way in the near future. At the current time, one-third of the traffic comes from one-third of the traffic that comes to Ewing comes from Fountain, 1/3 comes from Promenade, and the last third comes from Chartiers Avenue, all of which are essentially one-lane roads. And therefore, 100% of the traffic is forced to use Ewing Road. Our road is also essentially a one-lane road, and it's very difficult for the residents to leave the road or to enter the road during the start and finish times of baseball. We face constant speeding of people hurrying to the fields to arrive on time, And they stop at the stop sign in the middle of viewing and then just fly on down to the ball fields. And the fields are leased out to Canevin High School during the spring. Around 2:30, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, once the students are racing to their games, our road is used as a speedway. There are school buses that use our little road to get the Canevin students and their opposing teams, which I find to be rather contradictory considering my kids can't even get a school bus back there, but they're bringing school buses in for the baseball fields.